Hello and good morning, everybody. Welcome to Bill Gray Legion Stadium at Champion Car Wash Field in beautiful Roseburg, Oregon. As today we get ready to hopefully bring you a couple of baseball games here on The Score. The Roseburg Indians welcome in the Willamette Wolverines in what will be a battle for first place in the Southwest Conference standings as we are nearing the midway point of this 2024 league season. Roseburg comes in after a tough loss against the Sheldon Irish in their last one. As for the Willamette Wolverines, they've won 6 of their last 7, including 4 straight, winning over North Medford in a doubleheader last Saturday. It has been a little while since the Wolverines have been out on the field, and they look to continue their hot start to conference play as they play a twin bill today against the Roseburg Indians. Well, good morning, everybody. Almost good afternoon here as we get ready for a noon first pitch between Roseburg and Willamette. I'm Joey Kieran. Great to be with you. As we come on the air, the rains have started to fall once again here at Champion Car Wash Field. We have seen rain earlier on, and it wasn't anything too drastic early. Now it's starting to feel a little bit more consistent. It's a steady drizzle coming down here in the Umpqua Basin right now. Looking at temperatures in the 50s this morning, and we are probably going to be dodging raindrops throughout much of the day here today. The radar doesn't necessarily look optimistic, but the nice thing is we're playing on the turf field here at Champion Car Wash Field. It can handle a little bit of moisture. The one thing it probably can't handle will be a steady, consistent moisture for maybe an hour or so. You know, if it does not let up at any point, we're probably going to be finding ourselves in some sort of delay and or postponement. Hopefully none of that comes into play. I'm just spitballing and talking out loud here as we get this one underway. It is the Roseburg Disposal pregame show. You can let them make the run to the dump for you. Give them a call at 673-7122. That's Roseburg Disposal. Coming up here in the pregame show, we will get a chance to catch up with head coach Troy Thompson. He will be our guest here in the pregame as we get a chance to catch up with the coach. Great to see him back in the dugout out on the field for Roseburg here this afternoon. We'll talk to him. We'll also continue to preview this matchup, taking a look at what happened in the last game for these two teams, and get you your starting lineups for Game 1 of today's doubleheader. Want to remind everybody, today's game is streaming with video online at 541radio.com. You can find the action streaming there on our website, or head on over to our YouTube channel. That's 1490 The Score on YouTube. You can find us there, hit the subscribe button, and that'll make sure that you've got easy access to all of our Roseburg High School sports broadcasts. So check that out there at 1490 The Score on YouTube. We'll take a 2-minute timeout. We come back with head coach Troy Thompson. Our live video coverage presented by the Cow Creek Tribe. And this is Roseburg Baseball on 541radio.com and on The Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Hey there, sports fans. Thanks for watching this local sporting event online at 541radio.com. Did you know there's more than one way to watch games online? You can watch games on your laptop or desktop computer, your tablet, or even your smartphone just by going to 541radio.com. But we also use YouTube to stream all of our video broadcasts, which means you could be watching this game on your big screen TV with a number of different streaming devices. You can stream our live YouTube broadcast through your PlayStation or Xbox gaming device, or through streaming devices like Google Chromecast, Apple TV, or Roku. There's plenty of ways to follow this live local sporting event. Plus, you can find past events archived on 1490 The Score's YouTube channel. Find us on YouTube and subscribe today to keep up with the latest in local sports coverage.
For over 100 years, Douglas County Farmers Co-op has been serving the needs of farmers, ranchers, and homeowners throughout Southern Oregon. Here, everyone is welcome. When you shop with us, you can expect good people, good products, and good advice. No membership needed. Just bring yourself, and we'll provide the expertise and products you need to tackle your next project. Douglas County Farmers Co-op, where everyone is welcome to shop.
When the first Cascade branch opened in 1948, things were a lot different here. The fact they're still here says a lot about the way they do business.
Staying in business for 75 years requires the cooperation of generations. It's the desire to learn and grow with your community.
My account number is only 5 digits long. What that tells me is that this is a local credit union.
Cascade Community Credit Union would like to thank you for 75 years of growth and support here in Douglas County.
Back here with more of our Roseburg Disposal pregame show. Let them make the run to the dump for you. Give them a call at 673-7122. Roseburg back at home finally. It's been a long stretch since we've gotten a chance to be here at Champion Car Wash Field for a game. The Indians welcome in the Willamette Wolverines for a doubleheader. Joining us here in the pregame show, Coach Troy Thompson. Coach, well, we're back at home. That's a nice place to be for the team. I've been on the road quite a bit. The luxuries of being at home, how much easier does that maybe make a Saturday doubleheader that's always a grind?
Yeah, that's a great thing. Great place to start is starting at home. So we're glad to be back after several weeks of being on the road through spring break there and up to South Salem, and then down to South Medford, and then over to Sheldon again. So, yeah, I've been on the road, it seems like, for a long time. So a good place to start is playing at home, and a very good opponent coming in here today, like you said, for a league doubleheader in Willamette. So we're excited for that, and we're hoping the weather kind of stays away here a little bit today to give us a chance to get some clean baseball in with decent weather. But we'll see how that plays out. Can't control the rain, and we'll just have to play through it if it happens.
Well, the one nice thing is we are here at Champion Car Wash Field, where it handles the rain at least better than some places. So we'll take that as a feather in our cap here today. The team coming off of a tough one there at Sheldon. How have you, how do you guys process that one? I know it was kind of a tough game where you face an arm that has had a very good couple of starts against this Roseburg team. How does the team kind of try to take what they learned from that game and move forward?
Well, hopefully we take some of the quality at-bats we had against a good arm, like you said, and he's certainly that for Sheldon. So, and they played well, and you get what you get sometimes when their guy on the mound is throwing the way he was able to the other day and did a good job. And I thought we had some good at-bats and some good swings, and unfortunately for us, it just didn't play out. But yeah, you just got to move on to the next one. That's the beauty of baseball, is you get to play again the next day or two, and that's where we're at today. So hopefully we refocus here today and have a chance to get on the field and see some different arms and different opponents. So it's on to a new day and hopefully a different result.
Today, you guys welcome in a Willamette club, and I don't think that you guys have focused much on it. Probably haven't talked about it at all, but it is a matchup that is for the early lead in the Southwest Conference. What have you maybe seen out of this Willamette team that has them currently sitting in first place in the conference standings?
Well, they played very well. They're very young. They started a number of young players, and they've had good success here in the early part of the season. They're playing well as of late. For sure, winning a number of games in a row against some quality opponents. So obviously they're doing something right, and that'll be the case today. They'll come in, confident and ready to go, I'm sure. So on the other side, we've got to do the same thing. When we play well, and we have a chance to beat or play with a lot of teams when we do that. So once again, it's going to start on the mound for us with quality pitching out of our guys, and solid defense behind it. And like we always talk about, getting that opportune hit with runners on base is the continuous battle as we go through the season, and continuous work on it. And hopefully today we have an opportunity to come through, and we get that chance, and we do come through.
For you guys, we're kind of getting towards this stretch run of the season, almost through the first round of conference play. Everybody's been out there getting opportunities. Health-wise, you guys feeling like you guys are at a full go? Are you guys seeing anybody that might be a little dinged up? Just kind of a quick check-in here mid-season on where you guys are at on that front.
No, I think we're okay. We're missing a player in Amos Bowers with a shoulder issue that he's come up with here, so we're having to make some adjustments because of that and due to that, and our kids have done a great job responding and putting them in some spots where they weren't probably thinking they were going to be, and they've done a nice job of jumping in there and doing a good job with their time and their innings that they've gotten there. So it's nice to be healthy, but as you go through a season, it seems like that is a rarity anymore, and it's not exclusive to us. Every team goes through that. I'm sure Willamette has some guys that are banged up or bumped up, and just like probably everybody at this point. So you just got to play through it, make adjustments, and to your lineup, and give some other players some opportunities in some other spots, and hopefully they come through.
All right, looking forward to it. Roseburg and Willamette about to get underway. Joining us, Coach Troy Thompson. Coach, thanks so much for the time in the pregame.
Thanks, Joey.
That was, again, Coach Troy Thompson joining us here during the Roseburg Disposal pregame show. The team has taken the field, and we are about ready to go, so we're going to have to bump our second 2-minute break here in the Roseburg Disposal pregame show. We're going to jump right into things here. Let's go ahead and take a look at our starting lineup for Robert Cantwell and the Willamette Wolverines. They come in at 5-1 in conference play, 9-3 overall. Leading things off is going to be Miles Cox, the shortstop, followed by the right center fielder, Tyson Rather. At DH is Joey Garboden, the 3-hitter. Batting for the starting pitcher, Mason Christian. Hitting cleanup is Jackson Dowdy, followed by the catcher, J.C. Roberts. In left field, batting 6th is Braden Rather. Hitting 7th and starting in right field is Brody Butler. Berkeley Granberry will be the first baseman, batting in the 8th spot, followed by the 9-hitter Colin Robbins, the second baseman. That is a look at your starting lineup for the visiting Willamette Wolverines. On the mound for Roseburg is going to be Jake Johnson, right-hander. Will get the ball to start this one off. 27 innings worked this season, making his 6th start. He's got a 3-2 record. He's got a 1.56 ERA, 21 strikeouts, 12 walks in those 27 innings worked. Looking around the plate for Roseburg, looking around the diamond, I should say. Behind the plate is Paxton Burke catching for the Indians today. Out at first base, Camden Hartzell. At second, Caden Austin. On the left side of the diamond, Heath King will make the start at third base. And at shortstop is Brooks Avery. In the outfield from left to right, you've got Brayton Loomis, Dane St. Clair, and Brevin Harrison. Look at your starting defensive alignment for the Roseburg Indians.
First batter for Willamette.
Heath King starting at third. That was the one that they named surprised me a little bit there as we get this one started. I believe the first time that I've seen Heath starting at third base this season. We'll get ready for the first pitch of the ball game. Miles Cox, right-hander, will step in against the righty Jake Johnson. First pitch in for strike one. And 2 minutes before noon, we are ready to go with this one. A first pitch strike to Miles Cox. Chases a pitch high for strike two. We are underway here today on a dreary day in the Umpqua Basin and probably up through the Willamette Valley as well. 0-2 pitch, taken right side over second base, into right field. Sliding is Harrison. Feet gave out underneath him on the wet turf. Miles Cox, a 2-strike hitter, picks up a leadoff single against Roseburg. And a man on to start things off for the Wolverines.
Next batter, center fielder number 4.
That'll bring up Tyson Rather, the center fielder, who will bat left-handed. Stands in with one on and nobody out. So that'll bring in the third baseman Heath King onto the grass. Expecting a possible bunt out of the lefty here. Runner going on the first pitch. No throw behind the plate by Burke, and in safely will go Cox as he puts the pressure on here early on. Steals second. 1-0 count for Rather. And now the pressure really with a new third baseman. We'll see what Roseburg decides to do. Squaring to bunt. Pitch goes off the glove for Burke. And this is not the start Roseburg was hoping for. A 2-strike single to right field. Stolen base, pass ball, and suddenly Willamette has the go-ahead runner at third base. Definitely a hot start here for the Wolverines to this one. 2-0 delivery from Johnson, fouled off. So Miles Cox, make note, aggressive base runner. A guy that would be nice to try and keep off the bases as much as possible. Today's ball game brought to you by Barnes Heating and Cooling, your complete energy company. Visit barnesheatingandcooling.com or call them at 541-459-1545. Get a chance at a legal ID here in just a moment. Tyson Rather at the plate, a 2-1 count. Jake Johnson misses low and inside for ball 3. Willamette trying to capitalize here early on with a runner at third. 3-1 is chopped foul down the first base side. Full count, a strikeout would be big here for Jake Johnson as he tries to ease the pressure with the man at third and nobody out. The 3-2 pitch, got him swinging, and there is a punch out for Jake Johnson. Let's go ahead and pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is Roseburg Baseball here on The Score.
Next batter designated hitter number 28, Joey Garbodin.
Joey Garbodin is the DH. He will bat. And first pitch, grounder towards short. It's going to drive in a run over to first. 6-3 the put out on the RBI ground out for Garbodin. 2 away. Cox will come in to score, but Roseburg is 1 out away from limiting the damage.
Next batter will be number 27, the third baseman.
1-0 lead for the Wolverines. Jackson Dowdy will bat. Takes the first pitch low and outside for ball 1. Dowdy, the third baseman, batting cleanup. Will bat with a runner, no runners on base, and 1 run in so far and 2 away. Takes low and outside. Burke tries to frame it there. Roseburg 1 out away from kind of limiting the damage. It did not start out well with Cox getting on and moving around the bases freely. 2-0 pitch. Ooh. That one swung on, must have been foul tip. When it looked like it might have gone off the catcher and off the umpire all in one fell swoop. Jackson Dowdy with strike 1 against him. A 2-1 count. Johnson. Ooh, just outside. Not off the mark by much. Three-1 delivery. Gets a pop fly right side. Should be playable for Harrison. He'll make the catch and retire the side. Leadoff single for Willamette results in a run. The Wolverines will take a 1-0 lead. 1 run on 1 hit. No Roseburg errors. Nobody left on base. So we will go to the bottom of the first inning. 1/2 inning in the books. A 1-0 lead for the Wolverines here on 541radio.com and on The Score. 92.3 FM at 1490 AM.
Hey there, sports fans. Thanks for watching this local sporting event online at 541radio.com. Did you know there's more than one way to watch games online? You can watch games on your laptop or desktop computer, your tablet, or even your smartphone just by going to 541radio.com. But we also use YouTube to stream all of our video broadcasts, which means you could be watching this game on your big screen TV with a number of different streaming devices. You can stream our live YouTube broadcast through your PlayStation or Xbox gaming device, or through streaming devices like Google Chromecast, Apple TV, or Roku. There's plenty of ways to follow this live local sporting event. Plus, you can find past events archived on 1490 The Score's YouTube channel. Find us on YouTube and subscribe today to keep up with the latest in local sports coverage.
Bottom of the first inning, 1-0 lead for Willamette. Roseburg coming up to bat for the first time today. Troy Thompson, the head coach of the Roseburg Indians for his 22nd season. His starting 9 will look like this. Brooks Avery leading things off, the shortstop, followed by Paxton Burke, the catcher today for the Tribe. Dane St. Clair in center field will bat third, followed by the pitcher Jake Johnson. Brevin Harrison in right field will bat fifth, followed by Camden Hartzell, the first baseman, batting seventh. Starting in left field is Brayton Loomis. Caden Austin at second base will bat eighth, and Heath King is the starting third baseman for the Indians. They will face off against right-hander Mason Christensen. Christensen, a freshman. He is a big freshman. He's long and lean, but he has got quite the frame on him. He will be the starting pitcher for the Wolverines. Back behind the plate, he throws to J.C. Roberts. Looking around the diamond, Berkeley Granberry at first, Colin Robbins at second. On the left side of the infield, Jackson Dowdy at third, and Miles Cox at short. In the outfield from left to right, Braden Rather, Tyson Rather, and Brody Butler. First pitch. Off the end of the bat, a chopper first base side picked up by Christensen as he underhands to first to retire Brooks Avery to start things off here in the first inning. One away in this 1-0 ball game. Willamette in front. Paxton Burke will bat, starting catcher for the Indians. A switch hitter will bat left-handed against a right-hander. First pitch hits the inside corner for a called strike. Christensen, long and lean. Almost looks like he wears his pants up mid-calf just because they're not going to reach his ankles with how long his legs are. There's a ground ball. That's a fair ball. First base side takes one big hop to Berkeley. Granberry at first, and he tags the bag himself. 2 away. Quickly down to their final out here in the first inning. Roseburg will send Dane St. Clair to the dish. Black tops, black trousers, black caps. They are the men in black here today for the Willamette Wolverines. First pitch to St. Clair is low for ball 1. Roseburg, meanwhile, wearing the white pinstripe look today. White tops, white trousers. Black numbers on the back outlined in orange. The 1-0 pitch. Breaking ball. St. Clair did a good job not to get out in front, stayed back, but he let it go by, thinking it might be a little high. It catches the top of the strike zone. 1-1 count for Christian. St. Clair belts one in the air, not very deep center field. About routine depth. And it's a quick 1-2-3 first inning for Roseburg. The Willamette faithful here getting loud as their team holds a 1-0 lead going to the top of the second. For Roseburg, no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. 1-0 game. We go to the top of the second here on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
To us, pizza the way it ought to be isn't just our slogan. It's our promise and our passion to give you the best dining experience and the best tasting pizza you expect. For over 40 years, we've been making pizza the way it ought to be. Handmade with the freshest and finest ingredients. Our dough is made fresh daily, and we use 100% whole milk mozzarella cheese and toppings edge to edge. There's pizza, and then there's Mountain Mike's Pizza. Pizza the way it ought to be.
My wife and I moved to Oregon to raise a family, set our roots, and to have a lot of fun outdoors. We quickly realized that we needed a truck or a rig for the projects that we were doing in the backyard. When we were looking to find a place to finance our truck, we asked our patients, and everyone recommended Cascade Community Credit Union. It was so easy to work with Cascade. Everything was done via email, phone, and we didn't even need to go in. I can't wait to finish up the projects in the backyard, go on more adventures in our truck with our boys, and I look forward to working with Cascade again in the future.
Second inning here from Champion Car Wash Field, where it does seem as if the rains have subsided for now, but the metal bleachers are all wet, so it looks as if pretty much everybody has found a spot in the individual seats back behind home under the cover here at Champion Car Wash Field, home of the Umpqua Riverhawks, the Roseburg Indians, and the Umpqua Valley Christian Monarchs here during the spring sports season, home of Legion Baseball during the summer. We'll start off the second inning with J.C. Roberts, Braden Rather, and Brody Butler, your three hitters scheduled up. A 1-0 lead for the Wolverines. Willamette coming off of a sweep at home against North Medford 1 week ago today. That was a big sweep there for Willamette, really established them as the leader in the conference. Jake Johnson's first pitch fouled away by Roberts. In that one, North Medford 6 errors between the two games. Christian did pick up the win. He's the starting pitcher here for Game 1 of this doubleheader. He had the win in Game 1 of that twin bill. Pitch just outside for Johnson. Miles Cox. Yeah, he's the only Cox on the roster. Miles Cox got the win in Game 2 of that doubleheader last weekend. Breaking ball hits the bottom of the strike zone for a 1-2 count. Willamette took the lead in the first inning of both games 1 week ago, so they have followed suit so far here in this one. Just high and away, 2-2. So in 3 consecutive games, at least in 3 consecutive games, possibly more, Willamette has taken a lead in the first inning. Jake Johnson challenges in the zone. It's a high towering fly ball out towards right center where Dane St. Clair will call for it. Center fielder underneath it for the first out, retiring J.C. Roberts. One away, and up to bat will be Braden Rather. Today's game brought to you by Dr. Lanson Randall, Family and Cosmetic Dentistry. Visit drrandall.com or call 541-378-6694. First pitch, swing and a miss at a breaking ball, tailing away from the right-handed Rather. You've got Braden Rather batting in the 6th spot, a right-handed hitter. Tyson Rather bats second. He was hitting left-handed at the top of the order. He struck out in the first inning. A 1-1 count right now for Braden Rather, the left fielder. Not a lot of returning players on this Willamette team. Is squaring to bunt. Laid it down third base side, picked up by Johnson. He throws it right on target to Hartzell. Braden Rather trying to catch Roseburg off guard with a bunt on the 1-1 pitch.
Right fielder, number 14,
and it's
Brody
fielded
Butler.
very well there by Jake Johnson, who normally plays at third base, so he's no stranger to bunt defense. 2 away. First pitch elevated to the left-handed hitting Brody Butler. Graduating 6 seniors last year for Willamette. 3 of them were all conference selections. It's a foul ball, 1-1 count. Willamette returning 2 all-conference selections from last year. That would be first-team outfielder Tyson Rather. It's a strike across, called at the knees against Brody Butler. Also returning, Joey Garboden was an honorable mention All-Southwest Conference pitcher a year ago. The 1-2 pitch, just outside. Count goes to 2-2 for Butler, a lefty. Trying to get something started here in the second for the Wolverines. The 2-2. That ball in the air left side. It's Heath King, the third baseman, calling for it. Makes the play just into foul territory for the final out. He can catch fly balls. Has normally been out in the outfield. Playing at third here today. Tracks that one down, no problem. So the second inning goes 1-2-3 for Willamette. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. We go to the bottom of the second. Roseburg trailing 1-0 here on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
At Douglas County Farmers Co-op, we want your four-legged friends to be healthy and happy. That's why we stock a carefully curated selection of pet, equine, and livestock supplies. From the premium foods your pets crave to grooming and show supplies that help you shine in the show ring, you'll find it at Douglas County Farmers Co-op. Our knowledgeable staff are here to help with those tough pet and livestock care questions. Stop by or shop at DouglasCountyFarmersCoop.com.
I've always handled my own finances, but I need help.
Get a better understanding of your finances. At Palm Wealth Management, we care about your priorities and help restore financial security. Call Palm Wealth Management today.
Mountain Mike's Pizza, the way it ought to be.
Bottom of the second inning, today's game sponsored by Chuck Swarman Family Auto Repair. Are you ready to go where life takes you? Well, we want to say thanks to all of our sponsors that help make broadcasts of Roseburg High sports here on The Score possible. Yesterday, we were out there. We did Roseburg softball, game 1 of a doubleheader against Willamette. We had that game on the radio for you. Then we turned around and we did a live video broadcast of the Roseburg boys lacrosse team there at Roseburg High School. None of that is possible without the support of our sponsors here in Douglas County. And, of course, our sponsors, they probably can't do what they do without your support. So we do ask, if you are a fan of Roseburg High Sports here on The Score, please support the sponsors that support us. 1-0 count for Jake Johnson, Roseburg starting pitcher, up to bat for the first time. They play in at third base. Pitch outside to him from Mason Christian. Jake settled down there in that second inning after giving up a run in the first. Strike taken. Two balls, one strike. The lengthy Christian on the mound. Got Jake to chase after a high breaking ball. Pitch at the top of the zone. Jake reaching for that one. And out in front of it. Just got a piece of it. Fouls it away. A 2-2 count. Go back to the breaking ball. Ends up well outside. Jake Johnson. That mental chess that goes on in an at-bat. I kind of wondered how he would deal after chasing that breaking ball. Strike three, inside corner. Punch out there for Christian. He's retired the first four. Jake goes down looking. That ball looked like it had some tail back towards the inside corner of the plate. Looked initially like it was going to be inside, but kind of seemed like it tailed back to the corner. Swing and a miss on the first pitch to Brevin Harrison. Mason Christian is a freshman, so Roseburg has not seen him before. So this is a new book on this pitcher. Check swing outside. 1-1 count. Last year, Roseburg, they saw Joey Garbodin. But other than that, I don't think they've really seen any of these pitchers on the roster currently for Willamette, at least at the varsity level. Swing and a miss again for Harrison. Brevin down 1-2. Last year against Willamette, Brevin was 0 for 4 in his limited opportunities. Take right over the plate, but that ball up. Brevin let it go by. That's a tough one to watch go by. Did not get punched out. We'll see the 2-2. He'll take outside. That's an easy one to let go by. Full count here for Harrison with one out and nobody on. Roseburg trailing 1-0 in the bottom of the second. Kind of feel as if maybe the rains are starting to fall a little bit again. There's ball 4. Harrison tosses away the bat. He will find his way on base. Brevin wasn't waiting to find out whether that was ball 4 or not. It was a borderline pitch. But Brev tosses away the bat and quickly makes his way to first. Definitive action from the hitter. Nobody questioned it. That brings up Camden Hartzell, the first baseman for the Indians. He'll take low and outside from Christian for a 1-0 count. Roseburg's last game was a 6-1 loss on the road against Sheldon. The Irish picking up their first win in conference play. The name Carter Nelson should send shivers down the spines of Roseburg fans everywhere. That young man has had quite the success. So the runner going, throw in for a strike, but the throw down to second, not in time. Almost over sliding the bag. Brevin Harrison with a stolen base. We have not seen him on the bases moving much this year. In fact, that is the first stolen base of the year for Brevin Harrison. Puts himself into scoring position. It's a strike taken by Hartzell. 1-1 pitch here for Mason Christian. Ball up in the air right side. Might be a chance to tag in advance for Harrison. That ball right at the foul line, caught. Running for third goes Harrison. He's in, standing up. So it's a productive out for Camden Hartzell. Flies out to Butler in right field. That ball was caught right on the foul line. If it had been dropped, or I guess not touched, I don't know if it would have been fair or foul. It was that close. Right on top of the line for Camden Hartzell. But he does move the runner to third, and now a pass ball, an error, a base hit could very well bring in the game-tying run for Roseburg. Braden Loomis will bat. Takes a strike, catching the outside corner of the plate. Loomis had one at-bat in the loss against Sheldon last week. He made it count. He blasted a double. The 0-1, he takes high. Roseburg managed just a few hits in that game, 4 hits total. 2 of them were Dane St. Clair, a first-inning single and a solo home run in that one. Loomis had a double. Those were most of the hits in that game for Roseburg. Breaking ball strike. Curveball catches the top of the zone. Loomis leaning back. Bit of a knee buckler there from Christian. 2 strikes, and Roseburg would like to see this ball at least in play somewhere. And that's not going to happen. Loomis taking strike 3. Goes down looking. Mason Christian pitches around a 1-out walk as he strikes out 2 here in the second. No runs, no hits. There were no errors, and 1 man left on for Roseburg. We'll go to the top of the 3rd inning. A 1-0 ball game. Roseburg trailing Willamette here on 541radio.com and on the score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Turn your home into your dream sanctuary with help from Douglas County Farmers Co-op. For over 100 years, we've carried everything you need to keep your garden and crops green and growing, including a large selection of soil mixes, composts, fertilizers, and other soil amendments. You'll also find stones, boulders, gravel, and more to add structure and diversity to your yard. Stop by or shop at DouglasCountyFarmersCoop.com.
First batter for Willamette in the top of the 3rd inning. It is the first baseman, number 99.
Top of the 3rd.
1-0
lead for the Wolverines. Today's game brought to you by Flyaway Travel. Contact the travel experts at Travel Leader Flyaway Travel and make sure that you have an agent in your corner. Call them at 541-672-5701. Jake Johnson fires in a first pitch fastball. Swung on and foul tipped into the glove for strike 1 to Berkeley Granberry. Granberry, the starting first baseman, 8-9-1 coming up. He swings and misses for strike 2. Sporting 99 on his back. Don't see many of those in high school baseball. 0-2, check swing. Yes, he did. Go around. There is strike 3, and that'll be the second strikeout of the game for Jake Johnson. 1 away. Granberry goes down swinging.
Next batter will be the second baseman, number 9, Colin Roberts.
Strikeouts for Roseburg pitchers. We'll tell you more about that in a moment as a line drive comebacker to the mound. That comebacker snagged by Johnson.
Top of the order now for Willamette, number 1, Miles
quick
Fox.
hands, quick reaction. What a play. 2 down, he retires Colin Robbins. First pitch low and outside, gets away from Berg. Top of the order, Miles Cox batting again. Strikeouts are brought to you by Chris Hubbard, State Farm Insurance. When disaster strikes, it's good to have someone you can trust on your side. Swing and a miss. 1-1 count for Cox. You can contact Chris with State Farm at 541-672-3301 or visit chrisinsures.com for a free quote. The 1-1 pitch. Fouled away. Cox, the only run in the ballgame so far. He got on with a leadoff single in the first. He's got the only hit in the game so far. It came with 2 strikes against him in that first inning. The 1-2 pitch. He watches go by for strike 3. That's another Chris Hubbard State Farm Insurance strikeout for Jake Johnson, his 3rd in the game. And it will retire the side here in the 3rd inning. Another 1-2-3 inning for Johnson. That included a pair of strikeouts and a big defensive play on the mound. Go to the bottom of the 3rd inning. as the raindrops continue to drizzle down here at Champion Car Wash Field. Roseburg trails 1-0 on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Remember the good old days when you didn't have to make an appointment or wait in line for an hour just to talk to your teller, when businesses were local and gave back to the community. At Cascade Community Credit Union, there are some things will never change. We're the only credit union or bank headquartered in Douglas County, and making our members a priority has always been our priority. For easy and simplified banking, visit CCCU. No appointment, just come on in.
First batter for Roseburg in the bottom of the third inning. Second baseman number 1.
Bottom of the third, Roseburg has the 8-9-1 hitters coming up against Mason Christian, who is not allowed a hit so far in this one. Caden Austin will lead things off, and Willamette will play Jackson Dowdy, the third baseman, in on the grass. Ground ball goes left side to the shortstop. Cox throws across the diamond to Granberry. And Caden Austin on the first pitch of the third will ground out to the shortstop, one away. Well, it is a dreary day here in the Umpqua Basin. Lights are on here at Champion Car Wash Field, trying to help brighten things up as it has been wet and gray. Looks like the radar is calling for the possibility of rain continuing. Ooh, inside, underneath the elbows for Heath King, called to strike one to the lefty. They play Dowdy in again at third. Strike two taken. King kind of got the bat moving, got his hands out there, but the barrel stayed back on that one, a check swing, but it was right underneath those elbows again. Christensen gets King to pop up right side. Going out, the second baseman calls for it, calls off Butler. Robbins there to make the catch. Two down. Thankfully, the temperatures aren't necessarily super cold here today. 57 degrees at the moment, as it does drizzle here in Roseburg. Expected to get a short break here coming up, but it's really not expected to stop completely here anytime soon. Brooks Avery up for a second time, takes high and inside for ball one. Avery grounded out to the pitcher. In his first at-bat, hit a dribbler down the first base line, picked up by Christian, who underhanded to first. The 1-0 pitch, 2 outs and nobody on. A breaking ball in for a strike. Christian, he's mixing up his pitches well. He's locating his pitches pretty good. He's mixing between high, low, in, out. And that breaking ball has some pretty good movement to it. And there's another one, but it misses inside. It's got good lateral side-to-side movement and some pretty decent drop to it as well. The freshman, he'll be a name to continue to watch going forward most likely. The 2-1 pitch misses high. Only one senior on the roster for Willamette. That is the catcher, J.C. Roberts. So it is a young team, and they are having success early. Pitch high for ball four to Brooks Avery. He will draw the walk. A 2-out walk puts a man on. That's the game-tying run for Roseburg here in the third, trailing 1-0. Avery, we'll see what he tries to do with two outs against the Indians. Avery very aggressive on the bases himself. We'll see if they try to push the issue a little bit with 2 away, trailing 1-0. Up to bat will be Paxton Burke. Look that direction for Christian to check on Avery over there. It does continue to drizzle here. There goes Avery, the pitch high, throw to second. Didn't get the tag on him in time. That was a pretty close play at second base. Avery in just in time. The throw was about as good as you can get, but it was on the second base side of the bag for the shortstop, Miles Cox, to try and get to it. He had to go across the bag, so he had to go the long way, which is kind of where you want the ball to be, but the shortstop just a hair late getting there and applying the tag. Whew, you couldn't have been much closer than that. Stolen base for Avery, gets him into scoring position. The 1-0 pitch to Burke goes to Cox at short. His throw to first pulls the first baseman off the bag. And Roseburg will have runners on the corners. And the frame will continue. Avery at third. And at first base is Burke. They don't bring in a runner for him. Dane St. Clair will hit. At first base in the coach's box, Coach Tim Sestair, frustrated. 2 outs, no need to slow down or stop. I guess you don't want to necessarily get caught off the bag at third for Avery, but if he has taken a hard turn at third when that ball got away from Granberry at first, he could have had a chance to maybe score and tie this one up. Roseburg still looking for their first hit. Dane St. Clair, this would be a good chance to do it. He chases upstairs. That ball's not going to leave the infield. First baseman Berkeley Granberry makes the catch for the final out of the third inning. Roseburg had a chance there thanks to a fielding error or a throwing error by the Wolverines, but they're unable to capitalize on it. No runs, no hits. There was one Willamette error and 2 runners left on base for the Indians. We'll go to the 4th inning. Roseburg trails 1-0. A tie ball game here between top 2 teams in the Southwest Conference. Back after this 1-minute timeout on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Brook Communications radio stations have joined forces with the News Review and Lotus Web Services, announcing the Lotus Media Group, a multimedia enterprise. Web, broadcast, print. Make it happen with Lotus Media Group, LLC.com.
Today's ball game brought to you by Fisher's Hearth and Home, serving Douglas County for over 30 years with the largest selection of wood, gas, pellet, and electric stoves and fireplaces in the area. Live video stream brought to you by the Cow Creek Tribe as we broadcast online at 541radio.com and on our YouTube channel. Search 1490 The Score on YouTube to find it there. You can watch the live video simulcast of today's ball game, or you can enjoy it the old-fashioned way here on the radio, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM. First pitch swinging for Tyson Rather in the air, foul territory. Heath King makes the grab. That ball well into foul territory down the third base side, pretty even with the bag at third. Over towards the Roseburg dugout down the third base line. One away. Joey Garbodin, the DH, will bat. I was reading this bit of history the other day. It was this week as Garbodin takes the first pitch for ball 1. It was this week, and I can't remember how long ago it has been now, but it's got to be quite some time. A swing and a miss, strike 1 for Garbodin. the first ever live broadcast on radio of a sporting event. It was a boxing match, and I believe a newspaper reporter did the broadcasting for a local radio station. Foul ball away for Garboden, strike 2. I always think that's interesting. I think we got the carpet replaced at the office not that long ago, so I had to box up a lot of my stuff when they tore down my cubicle to put in the new carpet as the ball fouled away. Stays a 1-2 count for Garboden. So I had all these little pieces of paper, notes and whatnot. It was from one of those calendars that is like a different sports fact every day of the year. And had the anniversary of the first baseball broadcast. It's a ground ball, third base side. Garboden able to work it just inside the third base foul line into the left field corner. Loomis will send it back in. A one-out double for Garboden. Willamette will have their second hit of the game and have a man in scoring position.
Batters number 27, Jackson.
As we're here in the fourth inning, the Wolverines leading 1-0 already. Jackson Dowdy, the third baseman, 0 for 1, flew out to right field. Back in the first inning, he'll have his second at-bat against Jake Johnson here in the fourth. First base runner since the leadoff man got on to start the game. Just a bit high, a 1-0 count for Dowdy. So it was one of those calendars, different fact every day of the year, and it had on the day the anniversary of the first ever baseball broadcast. I've got that note somewhere. I think it always happens over the summer. The pitch in the dirt behind the plate. Burke, a nice job stopping that one from getting by. That holds the runner, Garboden, at second. But it seems like every year I want to make sure I notate that day comes and goes on the calendar, and I always forget to do it on the radio. Foul ball at the plate off the mask of the catcher, off the padding of the umpire. 2-1 count for Jackson Dowdy, the third baseman, cleanup hitter. Two-one delivery. Johnson breaking ball fouled away. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Out at second base, Joey Garboden after a 1-out double. The 2-2 pitch. That ball fouled off at the plate. I couldn't find the baseball. It was hidden by everybody at home. It went off the front foot of Jackson Dowdy. Fouled off at the plate. He'll stay alive with the 2-2. Two-two from Johnson. Breaking ball in the dirt. Almost got the hitter to chase, but holding up Dowdy will have a full count. Jake Johnson's 3-2 pitch. High and inside, ball 4. First walk of the game issued by Johnson. So we got runners at first and second. Roseburg will look for a possible double play turn here. Did see a throw from Willamette shortstop Miles Cox get away in that last half inning with Roseburg at the plate. So you got to imagine baseball off the turf might be a little slick. Definitely something both sides will be contending with. Line drive shot out towards the alley in left center. Gets down. Going to roll all the way to the fence. Willamette will get 1 run in. St. Clair sends it to shortstop Brooks Avery, who cuts it off. A double for J.C. Roberts to drive in 1. Dowdy holds at third. Thought they might try to send him. He goes first to third. Scoring from second is Garboden. And J.C. Roberts gives Willamette a 2-0 lead over Roseburg. Still just 1 out here in the fourth. We'll bring in a courtesy runner for the catcher. Roberts got behind that one. That ball hit well to the alley. We'll pick up an RBI. Braden Rather will bat. Shows a bunt. He takes outside, ball 1. So Dowdy at third base. Roberts at second. 1 out. It's a 2-0 lead for Willamette. Showing a bunt again, pulls it back, takes low and inside. Braden Rather, a bunt attempt back in the second. Wasn't a sacrifice bunt. He was trying to bunt for a hit. Shows it, takes high. And he's got himself a 3-0 count. Just 1 out still here in the 4th inning. Roseburg will play with the infield in. Showing a bunt again is Rather. And he takes ball 4, loads him up. 2 walks here in the first, or in this 4th inning for Jake Johnson. That'll get a visit out to the mound for Paxton Berg. Up to bat is going to be Brody Butler, a left-hander. 0 for 1 in the game with a fly ball out to third. So the first baseball game ever broadcast on radio was a Pittsburgh Pirates versus Philadelphia Phillies. I thought it was in Pittsburgh, or in Pennsylvania. It was on August 5th of 1921. First pitch swinging, a line drive, fly ball out towards right field, caught. Everybody goes back to tag. Wow. Base running kind of miscue there for the Willamette Wolverines. They thought that ball was dropping for sure as Brody Butler gets around on one. It was a low trajectory, so I thought there was a good chance, but it carries out to Brevin Harrison in right field, who makes the catch, gets it back in quickly. There's 2 away, and surprisingly, nobody able to, more importantly, the runner at third, not able to tag in advance. A swing and a miss for strike 1 to Berkeley Granberry. So let's see, it's 2020. So 3 years ago, August 5th, was the 100-year anniversary of the first ever baseball broadcast. Pitch high, 1-1. Thank you for indulging my history nerd and radio broadcasting nerd side. We'll back to your regularly scheduled baseball game here. Bases loaded with 2 away. Ground ball chopper, third base side. Let it go foul there. That's got lucky. I don't know if Heath King let it go foul or if he just got lucky that that ball ended up in foul territory. But he wasn't going to get an out. That ball, a slow bounding baseball down the third base side for Granberry. Heath King is quick, but that took too long to get to it. And he was not going to have a chance to really make an out. Needed to just let it go foul for strike 2. Granberry struck out his first time up. He's got a 1-2 pitch with the bases loaded. Fouls away another one. Granberry playing first base. Sporting 99 on his back. I'm guessing a fan of Aaron Judge. A 1-2 pitch. Jake gets another foul ball. Once again, Jake Johnson trying to limit the damage. He's doing so right now with bases loaded, trying to pitch around it. The 1-2. Just misses with his breaking ball. At third base, Jackson Dowdy. At second, J.C. Roberts. Courtesy runner out there for him. And Braden Rather is on at first. The 2-2 pitch. Fouled first base side once again. Running at second base is Brody Garrett. Running for J.C. Roberts, the catcher. 2-2 pitch. Ooh. That pitch just off the plate. Full count, got to be there, nowhere to put the hitter. Jake's 3-2 pitch. Ball 4. So Granberry will earn an RBI with the battle he had there, fouling off a number of pitches. Run comes in. Dowdy from third will make it a 3-0 game in favor of Willamette. Still 2 outs with the bases loaded here in the top of the 4th. Colin Robbins is the 9-hitter. First pitch, he swings through. Lined out to the pitcher his first time up. Strike zone shrinks there on Jake in that last at-bat, trying to get through this fourth inning. Catch the strike zone there for an 0-2 count. Eighth hitter to the plate here in the fourth for Willamette, as they put a crooked number on the board. The 0-2 from Jake. Got him to chase outside. Softly hit left side. Falls in between the left fielder and shortstop. 2 runs will score. And Willamette has broken this one open for a 5-0 lead. Coming in to score was Garrett, the courtesy runner, and Braden Rather scores from second. Berkeley Granberry gets to second base, and on at first is Colin Robbins. He drives in 2. Oh, wait, we got an out on appeal. So Roseburg on appeal. They get the out at home. So I think that's going to take one of the runs off the board and make it 4-0. Well, we'll go to the bottom of the fourth. The inning comes to an end, and Roseburg will get saved 1 run. 3 runs come in total for the Wolverines here in the top of the fourth. Back after this 1-minute timeout on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Hey there, sports fans. Thanks for watching this local sporting event online at 541radio.com. Did you know there's more than one way to watch games online? You can watch games on your laptop or desktop computer, your tablet, or even your smartphone just by going to 541radio.com. But we also use YouTube to stream all of our video broadcasts, which means you could be watching this game on your big screen TV with a number of different streaming devices. You can stream our live YouTube broadcast through your PlayStation or Xbox gaming device, or through streaming devices like Google Chromecast, Apple TV, or Roku. There's plenty of ways to follow this live local sporting event. Plus, you can find past events archived on 1490 The Score's YouTube channel. Find us on YouTube and subscribe today to keep up with the latest in local sports coverage.
Bottom of the fourth inning, a 4-0 lead for the Willamette Wolverines. They have a run come off the board on the appeal at home. So 3 runs in the top of the fourth inning. The Wolverines able to pull out in front. Roseburg looking for their first hit still against Christian, and there it is. At the plate, Jake Johnson will pull one to left field. A soft liner will drop in. As I say it, it happens. Roseburg looking for that first hit, and they get it. Jake Johnson gets on. They'll bring in Keegan Carpenter to run at first base.
The batter, number 9,
the courtesy runner for the pitcher. So Roseburg got their first hit there, now trying to get more. Up to bat will be Brevin Harrison. He drew a walk in the second. Fouls off the pitch. Second time through the order here for Roseburg. So guys have seen Mason Christian, the freshman that they had not seen previously. Pickoff throw to first base. Carpenter backs in safely. Harrison got on with a walk and stole second back in the second inning. Chops one third base side, picked up, throw to second for 1. The relay throw to first, not in time. Willamette will get the lead runner. Out at second is Carpenter. Brevin will reach on a fielder's choice.
Next batter, number 8, Camden Hartzell.
Cam Hartzell 0 for 1 in the game with a fly ball out to right field. A productive fly ball out that helped Roseburg get a runner to third, but that was as much as they'd get. Strike taken on the first pitch there for Hartzell. So as best as I could tell, I was writing down the result of that at-bat for Colin Robbins when Roseburg apparently appealed at home. Breaking ball outside. They made the appeal at home on that the last runner had not touched home. That would have been Braden Rather. And on appeal, they were able to get that final out and erasing 1 run off the board. Pitch high. 2 balls and a strike. So, best as I can tell, that's how that went down there. Just caught the tail end of all of it as I looked up after writing down in my scorebook. The 2-1 pitch in for a strike. Two balls, 2 strikes to Camden Hartzell, who is batting with 1 out, and Brevin Harrison on at first. Strike 3 called. And Hartzell goes down looking.
Batters number 2, Braden Loomis.
That'll be strikeout number 3 for Mason Christian. And it's the second out here in the 4th. First pitch misses to Brayton Loomis, who struck out looking back in the second. The 1-0 pitch swung on. Loomis, a 1-1 count. $4-0 lead for the Wolverines as the rains continue to kind of go on and off. A little drizzle. Ball fouled off by Loomis. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Still at first base, Brevin Harrison. On the mound, Christian trying to wrap it up here. The 1-2 pitch. Loomis fouls it. Got a piece of it. Chopped it towards the home dugout, third base side. One ball, 2 strikes. Battle going here for Loomis. 1-2 delivery. That ball fouled off his front leg. Not to walk it off. We'll give him a breather there. Stays a 1-2 count here for Loomis. We're trying to get some offensive momentum going. That ball well outside. Harrison will easily move up to second base. The ball ricochets off the backstop all the way out to the first base line. 2-2. For Brayton Loomis with a runner in scoring position. The wild pitch moving Harrison up 90 feet. Base hit to try and see if they can bring in a run. Christian's 2-2 delivery for Loomis. Line drive left side, drops in. It'll one hop to the left fielder, throws in, and a nice relay throw back into the infield by Braden Rather. Braden Loomis, a 2-out single, puts runners on the corners. Roseburg, there's a little bit of momentum. Positive results at the plate for the Tribe. It'll be Caden Austin to try and see if he can keep it going. Austin grounded out to short back in the third. Roseburg trailing 4-0. Need something to get going here. Christian on the mound. With runners on the corners. Misses outside. Roseburg Baseball today brought to you by DC Farmers Co-op, where everyone is welcome to shop. It's game one of our doubleheader. Right now the Wolverines leading 4-0. Christian misses low and outside, time called. Yesterday we mentioned that we were over at Roseburg High School for the softball doubleheader of Roseburg and Willamette. We caught game one. We were broadcasting that one. A no-hitter for Jasmine Morales in game one, a 2-0 victory for Roseburg. And then the Indians broke it open in game two, winning 17-2 against Willamette yesterday. So congratulations to Jasmine Morales on a complete game no-hitter and a 2-0 victory in game one of that doubleheader. 2-0 pitch down the middle for strike one to Austin. Big moment here for Roseburg, trying to break the goose egg on the board, get something up there. The 2-1 pitch to Austin, swung on and missed. After the brief visit to the mound for J.C. Roberts, the senior, talking with the freshman, Mason Christian has settled in and back-to-back strikes against Caden Austin. The 2-2 pitch, swung on and missed. Once again, Christian will pitch around a runner in scoring position for Roseburg, and we will go to the top of the fifth, the Indians trailing 4-0. We will come back after this 1-minute timeout here on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
To us, pizza the way it ought to be isn't just our slogan. It's our promise and our passion to give you the best dining experience and the best tasting pizza you expect. For over 40 years, we've been making pizza the way it ought to be. Handmade with the freshest and finest ingredients. Our dough is made fresh daily, and we use 100% whole milk mozzarella cheese and toppings edge to edge. There's pizza, and then there's Mountain Mike's Pizza. Pizza the way it ought to be.
My wife and I moved to Oregon to raise a family, set our roots, and to have a lot of fun outdoors. We quickly realized that we needed a truck or a rig for the projects that we were doing in the backyard. When we were looking to find a place to finance our truck, we asked our patients, and everyone recommended Cascade Community Credit Union. It was so easy to work with Cascade. Everything was done via email, phone, and we didn't even need to go in. I can't wait to finish up the projects in the backyard, go on more adventures in our truck with our boys, and I look forward to working with Cascade again in the future.
Top of the fifth inning, a 4-0 lead for Willamette on top of Roseburg. The Indians trying to muscle their way back into this one. Got some work cut out for them, though. Jake Johnson still throwing. First pitch, swing and a miss for strike one as we start the fifth inning. It'll be the top of the order here. Miles Cox up to bat. The 0-1. Breaking ball out of the hand. Not where he wanted that pitch to go. Roseburg has left a runner or two on base in each of the last three innings. 1-1 foul tipped into the glove. Strike two for Miles Cox, who is 1 for 2 in the game. So the luxury, the joy of having the video simulcast as I went back and watched that final out of the fourth inning for Willamette. As a swing and a miss by Cox after a leadoff single to start the game. He has struck out back-to-back at-bats. That is 4 in the game now for Jake Johnson. 1 away. He'll face Tyson Rather.
Batter number 4, Tyson Rather.
Rather bats with nobody on. He squares to bunt and pops it foul, and that will get down in foul territory. So went back and watched, and it's fuzzy and not necessarily high def, not like what you'd get on an ESPN broadcast, but it did look as if Braden Rather might have stepped short of home and then over the plate. So I could at least, upon video review, I can't say that the call wasn't correct on the field. So going to have to go with it. A little high on the 1-1. Tyson Rather 0 for 2 in the game, the lefty. Jake Johnson out of his windup. Gets a swing and a miss again for strike 2. So because of that on the appeal, Roseburg got the out at home. As Rather missing the plate, and that negated a run and ended the inning there in the 4th for Willamette. Outside, 3-2 count now for Tyson Rather. Johnson's full count pitch, fouled off. Our live video stream, you can go back, you can rewind, watch parts of the game, figure it all out, but it is brought to you by the Cow Creek Tribe. It's nice to have that archived version of the game. Strike 3 called, punch out at the plate, hitting the inside corner, right around the knees there for Tyson Rather. He goes down looking back-to-back strikeouts for Jake Johnson. Strikeouts this season for Roseburg pitchers brought to you by Chris Hubbard State Farm Insurance. When disaster strikes, it's good to have someone you can trust on your side. Call Chris with State Farm or visit chrisinsures.com for a free quote. Line drive, fly ball out to left field, right there to Brayton Loomis, who barely has to move. Off the bat of Joey Garboden to finish it off. A 1-2-3 frame in the 5th inning for Willamette. Roseburg starting to lose opportunities, but the 5th inning coming up, they've still got a couple of chances left to cut into a 4-0 deficit against Willamette here on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM. Okay.
At Douglas County Farmers Co-op, we want your four-legged friends to be healthy and happy. That's why we stock a carefully curated selection of pet, equine, and livestock supplies. From the premium foods your pets crave to grooming and show supplies that help you shine in the show ring, you'll find it at Douglas County Farmers Co-op. Our knowledgeable staff are here to help with those tough pet and livestock care questions. Stop by or shop at DouglasCountyFarmersCoop.com.
I've always handled my own finances, but I need help.
Get a better understanding of your finances. At Palm Wealth Management, we care about your priorities and help restore financial security. Call Palm Wealth Management today.
Mountain Mike's Pizza, the way it ought to be.
A drizzly, dreary day here in the Umpqua Basin at Champion Car Wash Field. Roseburg trailing 4-0 against the Willamette Wolverines, between the top two teams here in the Southwest Conference. Heath King is going to lead things off for Roseburg. The 9-1-2 hitters coming up as we begin the bottom of the 5th. 4-0, 1 in the 1st, 3 in the 4th inning for Willamette. Heath King swings through for strike 1. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is Roseburg Baseball on the Score. Heath King lifts one to right field. A routine fly ball for Brody Butler. King is 0 for 2, a couple of fly ball outs for him, one away. Top of the order coming up, Brooks Avery will bat. He reached on a walk his last time up. Today's game brought to you by Cascade Community Credit Union, belong to Douglas County. Rains have been kind of off and on throughout the day. It's never really been, big fat raindrops with a steady heavy rain. It's just been kind of a constant drizzle at times. First pitch to Avery is fouled off. But we're expecting that to possibly continue throughout much of the day here today. Brooks Avery comes in batting .357 on the year, coming into today's twin bill. Takes high, a 1-1 count. Drew a walk back in the 3rd inning. That was the 13th walk of the year for Brooks. Senior, returning all-conference selection for the Indians. It's a sharp line drive to left field, but it just carries enough to Braden Rather. Hard hit ball, but it carries into left field, and Rather comes in just a few steps and is able to make the play. 2 down.
Next batter, number 15.
Brings up Paxton Burke, reached on an error in the 3rd inning. Roseburg didn't get a hit until the 4th. They've got 2. There's a ground ball right side. A diving head-first play by Colin Robbins. Gets the throw to first, and some good defense behind Mason Christian makes it a 1-2-3, bottom of the 5th. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on. Roseburg puts the ball in play, but can't get it to drop. We'll go to the top of the 6th. It's still 4-0. Willamette in front of Roseburg here on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Turn your home into your dream sanctuary with help from Douglas County Farmers Co-op. For over 100 years, we've carried everything you need to keep your garden and crops green and growing, including a large selection of soil mixes, composts, fertilizers, and other soil amendments. You'll also find stones, boulders, gravel, and more to add structure and diversity to your yard. Stop by or shop at DouglasCountyFarmersCoop.com.
Top of the 6th inning, Jake Johnson still throwing for Roseburg. Going on around the rest of the Southwest Conference here today, you've got South Eugene at Grants Pass and South Medford at North Medford. We'll be trying to keep tabs on those matchups. Get you some score updates as we can. I'm Joey Kieran here. Game 1 of our doubleheader. In between games, we will have a quick break. I think going to try to see if I can work in a interview I did with Brevin Harrison earlier in the week as a first pitch swinging, high towering fly ball out to center field. And that'll retire the leadoff man here in the 6th, Jackson Dowdy. Flies out to shortstop Brooks Avery in shallow center field. So 1 down, J.C. Roberts will bat. He had a double in the 4th inning, drove in a run. 2 doubles that inning, part of 3 hits in the frame. And he is on it again. Grounds one left side, backhanded by Loomis in left field. And J.C. Roberts, the senior, is 2 for 3 on the day. 1 on, 1 away here in the 5th. And I believe they probably brought in the courtesy runner. Yep. That is Brody Garrett, who will run at first for the catcher. Runner going. The ball is popped up right side. It will get out of play. Strike 1 against Braden Rather, who drew a walk in the 4th. He was the runner that apparently stepped short of home plate and was out on appeal to finish things off in the 4th. He slaps one down the first base side. That could have been big-time trouble if it had stayed fair. That was just right at the bag. And Rather will foul it off for strike 2. Rather walking his last time up. He's got the 0-2 pitch coming. Runner going again. That ball popped up, foul territory, and it will get into the back row of the bleachers behind the first base dugout. Stays an 0-2 count as Braden Rather has done a lot of fouling off, and at first base, Brody Garrett has been doing a lot of running. The 0-2. Ooh, buzzing the tower there for Jake. That one missed its mark. One-two delivery. Johnson fires in, gets another foul ball from Rather. 1-2 count with one out and a runner on at first, looking for a ground ball here if possible. There's a ground ball towards Austin. The runner was moving at first, so a head start for Garrett. He'll get to second base. The only option there for Caden Austin was to get the out at first. So 2 down. Brody Garrett running for J.C. Roberts moves to second, and Brody Butler will bat. Butler flew out to right field his last time at the plate. Takes low and inside for ball 1. Taking again for a 2-0 count. Jake trying to get through this 6th inning. Runner going, throw to third. Gets by Heath King into left field, and the ball's still loose, and the runner's going to score. Brooks Avery and Brayton Loomis met at the same time in left field, trying to collect that baseball, and they might have kind of collided, just trying to avoid each other, and neither able to get to the baseball and make a throw home to try and get the runner. So Garrett steals third and scores on the error. And that's another run for Willamette. They lead it 5-0. Nobody on base. A 3-0 pitch misses for ball 4. Well, Willamette's doing a good job of being aggressive and forcing the issue. I mean, really, right now, they haven't necessarily been doing anything. They did in the 4th inning, they had some hits. I will give them credit for that. A couple of doubles in there. They produced some runs, but they've been also very aggressive and forcing the issue. And right now, it's been working for them. Roseburg has not been able to get the outs when they've been there. That was dead to rights at third for Garrett, but the throw gets by Heath King. Ground ball left side. King gets an easy ground ball, lobs it to first, but throws it away. And Heath King making the start at third, his first of the season as far as I know. He had time, a nice easy routine throw to first would have wrapped it up, but he misfires. And Brody Butler will get his way to second. Brody Butler's all the way to third after drawing the walk. And Berkeley Granberry will get on base with the error. You know, that's a moment there for Heath King in a different spot. The previous play, a throw down to third, got away from him when he had a chance to try and apply the tag on the runner stealing third for the final out. Got away, a run comes in. Maybe he's a little bit, some nerves kick in, and he's got a routine throw to first base. It's those routine ones when you've got time to stop and think that you get in your head and psych yourself out. And you end up making a bad play. Colin Robbins will bat. 2 runners in scoring position and 2 away. The 9-hitter takes low and inside. Robbins had an RBI bloop single to left field in the 4th. That at the time looked like it was going to drive in 2, but then on the appeal, one of those runs taken back. Foul ball, 1-1 count. So Roseburg will have 5 runs to try and make up. They've got 6 outs left to do it with. They need to get through the top of the 6th inning here as a ball fouled first base side. 1-2 count for Robbins. Coming up for Roseburg, they will have the 3, 4, 5 hitters here in the bottom of the 6th. The 1-2 from Jake bounces in front of home. The runners will hold. 2-2 count. Burke behind the plate doing a nice job acting as the backstop. Doesn't let that one get too far from home. Jake Johnson trying to get through things here in the 6th. His 2-2 pitch Misses high with the breaking ball. Top of the order, Miles Cox waits on deck. Full count delivery. Strike 3 called. Late call on that one. The punch out there, down looking, will go Colin Robbins, That'll be the 6th strikeout in the game for Jake Johnson. But Roseburg down by 5, going to the bottom of the 6th. They've got work to do. We'll come back after this 1-minute timeout. Roseburg trailing at Willamette on 541radio.com and on the score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Remember the good old days? When you didn't have to make an appointment or wait in line for an hour just to talk to your teller? When businesses were local and gave back to the community? At Cascade Community Credit Union, there are some things will never change. We're the only credit union or bank headquartered in Douglas County, and making our members a priority has always been our priority. For easy and simplified banking, visit CCCU. No appointment, just come on in.
We go to the bottom of the 6th inning. The first batter for Roseburg, number 13, Dane.
Bottom of the 6th inning, Roseburg down 5-0 against the Willamette Wolverines. On the mound, Mason Christian still looking to try and keep Roseburg off the board. He'll face Dane St. Clair, breaking ball outside. Well, taking a look around the rest of the Southwest Conference, South Medford and North Medford playing at North Medford High School down in Medford. Looks like a pretty decent day down there. 8-8 is your score in the 3rd inning in that one. They've had a lot of runs coming across in that ball game. The 2 teams are tied in the bottom of the 3rd. Although it looks like North Medford has runners on the corners with nobody out, looking to take the lead. 2-0 delivery by Christian. St. Clair gets behind one. Shallow right center on the run. Brody Butler there to make the grab. St. Clair 0 for 3 in this one now. 1 down. That'll bring up Jake Johnson, who had the first hit of the game for Roseburg. Jake looking to try and keep it going. First pitch swinging, fouls it off. I was hoping that we might have a look at the South Eugene and Grants Pass game, but it looks like they might be covering game 2 down in Medford for that one. Pitch outside, 1-1. Jake, a single to left field in the 4th inning. Struck out looking in the 2nd in his first at-bat. 1-1 from Christian. Off speed, in at the knees for a strike. Slowed down the velocity there big time for Christian. His curveball drops right in at the knees. 1-2, well outside with the fastball. Game 2 will be coming up about 20 minutes past the conclusion of game 1 here. So looking like good chance we'll probably be right about on time for about a 2 o'clock start for that one. Outside, bounces, and the count goes full for Jake. Seems as if the rains have subsided for the time being here in Roseburg. Mason Christian, full count pitch, misses. A 1-out walk. Roseburg needs every little bit they can get here. 3rd walk in the game for Mason Christian. Keegan Carpenter will come in to run for Jake.
Keegan Carpenter to run at first base. Batter's number 9, Brevin Harrison.
Brings up Brevin Harrison, our presumed Game 2 starter. I talked with Brevin earlier this week for our Wednesday night interview program. That is DC Sports Spotlight, a show where I get a chance to talk with local student athletes around the Umpqua Basin. It's Brevin swinging first pitch. High in the air out towards right center. Tracking it, the center fielder makes his way all the way over to right. Tyson Rather makes the catch. 2 away. Tyson Rather basically taking that one away from Brody Butler. Well, Brevin got out quickly there, and I didn't get to tell you more about the interview I did with him. There's a ground ball, chopper, third base, slow roller, picked up, bobbled a bit, throw to first, though, right on time. Jackson Dowdy gets it to Berkeley Granberry to finish off Camden Hartzell, and Roseburg goes down. Get a runner on, but can't do anything with it. No runs, no hits, no errors. The one man left on. So we go to the top of the 7th inning. Roseburg trailing 5-0. Here, Game 1 of our doubleheader on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Brook Communications radio stations have joined forces with the News Review and Lotus Web Services, announcing the Lotus Media Group, a multimedia enterprise. Web, broadcast, print. Make it happen with LotusMediaGroupLLC.com.
Keegan Carpenter will go down to first.
Well, we get a call to the pen for the Roseburg Indians here in the 7th inning. They will make the move to the bullpen where Camden Hartzell will come in for Jake Johnson. Hartzell will face the top of the order for Willamette. Jake Johnson goes 6 innings worked. Gave up 5 hits, 5 runs, 3 walks, and he had 6 strikeouts in this one. All strikeouts brought to you by Chris Hubbard, State Farm Insurance. 5 runs.
Top of the order now for Lambert as we start the top of the 7th.
Let's see here. I'm going to say 4 of them earned against Jake Johnson here today. So new man on the mound, Camden Hartzell will take over. He will face Miles Cox. First pitch misses for ball 1. Hartzell making his 6th appearance. His 1-0 pitch fouled away. Hartzell's had a couple of games that got away from him, so that has driven up his ERA, 7.27. But he's had some other outings where he's been really, really good. In fact, I think he threw a 5-inning no-hitter at one point, if I'm remembering correctly. Ground ball, easy roller to Brooks Avery. Fires over to the new first baseman, Keegan Carpenter. Carpenter takes over for Hartzell at first. Stretches to make the out at first, retiring Miles Cox.
Tyson Rather.
1 away. Tyson Rather will bat. He's 0 for 3. Lefty versus righty matchup. Missing low, ball 1. Yeah, it was a no-hitter for Camden Hartzell over spring break up in Eugene. It's a bunt, popped foul, third base side, just out of the reach of everybody. Tyson Rather trying to get on with the bunt. Instead, pops it foul. 1-1 count for him as he returns to the plate. So Hartzell's had some good outings, but a couple that got kind of out of control. That's why the ERA has ballooned a little bit on him. He's got his 1-1 pitch. In for a called strike. It popped out of the glove for Burke, but it was definitely in there for a strike. A ball and 2 strikes for Rather, who has struck out twice. He's facing Camden Hartzell, the new man on the mound. Ground ball right side will get through. Diving attempt by Austin at second base. Couldn't get there in time. And a ground ball through the right side. Rather will reach with 1 out. He will have the 6th hit of the game for Willamette. Joey Garboden will bat. He is 1 for 3 on the day with a double, a run scored, and an RBI. First pitch here for Hartzell. Low and outside. Behind the plate, Burke looking to first. Out there, Tyson Rather had a big secondary lead. 1 away, 1 on. Hartzell misses low and outside. 2-0 count. So after 3 innings now, it is 10-8 North Medford in front of South Medford. Down at North Medford's high school, Jim Maccabee Field down there. 2-0 delivery. Runner going. Called the strike, throw to second. That should have him. Yep, out at second base. That throw right on the money by Burke. And Tyson Rather caught stealing. 2 down. Base is empty. Strike taken at the plate. Swung on and missed for strike 2. That throw right on the money. I believe it was Austin that was there to receive it and apply the tag. He had plenty of time as Rather tried to swim around the tag, could not make his way to the bag. Garboden takes a breaking ball low for a full count here. 2 outs, nobody on. The 3-2 pitch popped up, out of play. Joey Garboden last year against Roseburg was 1 for 2 at the plate. And he'll take outside for ball 4. First walk for Hartzell. He was 1 for 2 last year, had 1 hit, obviously.
Number 27, Jackson.
No, that's sorry. He pitched 1 2/3. He didn't get any at-bats. That's what it is. I'm trying to decipher my own notes on this game. He didn't have any at-bats. He had 2 pitching performances last year. Strike 1 for Jackson Dowdy. Dowdy is 0 for 2 in the game, walked and scored a run back in the 4th. His 0-1 pitch fouled away. Last year, this Willamette team finishing 6th in the Southwest Conference made it to the first round of the state playoffs where they lost 11-1 at Jesuit. Runner going. Strike 3 called instead. Burke was getting ready to throw down to second base, but Dowdy was caught looking on a breaking ball, and Hartzell will finish it off with his first strikeout here in the 7th. That finishes off the top of the 7th inning. Now Roseburg needs to get the bats going. No runs on 1 hit, no Roseburg errors, and 1 man left on base for the Wolverines. We'll go to the bottom of the 7th. Roseburg with 3 outs left to work with against Mason Christian, who looks for the complete game victory here on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Hey there, sports fans. Thanks for watching this local sporting event online at 541radio.com. Did you know there's more than one way to watch games online? You can watch games on your laptop or desktop computer, your tablet, or even your smartphone just by going to 541radio.com. But we also use YouTube to stream all of our video broadcasts, which means you could be watching this game on your big screen TV with a number of different streaming devices. You can stream our live YouTube broadcast through your PlayStation or Xbox gaming device, or through streaming devices like Google Chromecast, Apple TV, or Roku. There's plenty of ways to follow this live local sporting event. Plus, you can find past events archived on 1490 The Score's YouTube channel. Find us on YouTube and subscribe today to keep up with the latest in local sports coverage.
Seventh inning here for Roseburg. Leading things off, Brayton Loomis. As Roseburg tries to make a comeback down 5-0. Swing and a miss, strike one on the 1-0 there for Loomis, who is 1 for 2 in the game with a single his last time up. Stick around, we'll have a post game coming up after game 1 and get you ready for game 2 in the process as the ball fouled back by Loomis. We'll recap game 1, take a break, and then I've been trying to tell you about the interview for Brevin Harrison, and I plan to try and play that interview for you, at least a portion of it. It's a little bit of a longer interview for that long-form show on Wednesday nights. It's a pitch high, 2-2. So we'll try to play some of that interview for you here in between innings while we get ready for game 2 of our doubleheader. 2-2 pitch. Swung on, chasing high. Out of the zone there for Loomis. He goes down with the strikeout. It's number 5 on the day for Mason Christian. One away. Caden Austin will bat. He's 0 for 2 with a strikeout. Roseburg down to their last 2 outs in this one. Looking for a big rally if they can get it. Mason Christian has been good. Christian into his 7th inning of work. He's allowed just 2 hits. He's walked 3, has 7 strikeouts. He winds and fires the 1-0. High and inside, goes to the backstop. Roseburg. If they can't come back here in game 1, they'll look to try and earn a split here at home in game 2. Strike taken outside corner. As Coach Thompson always tells me, when you lose game 1, the best you can hope for is a split, so might as well go out and do that. The 2-1 pitch, fouled off by Austin. I'd like to see Roseburg maybe put some pieces together to try and get some offense going here in the 7th. Maybe be able to carry that into game 2 of our doubleheader, because they have not been able to do much against Mason Christian. And that is another example of it. He fires in strike 3. So with Roseburg down 5-0, they get back-to-back strikeouts here in the 7th inning. Keegan Carpenter will bat. I think I said that Christian had 7 strikeouts. He's now got 6. I might have misspoke earlier. There's a strike taken to start off for Keegan Carpenter, who will bat. He came in as a defensive replacement in the spot of Heath King. He puts a chopper, third base side, picked up, throw to first. There it is. Game 1 in the books. Keegan Carpenter grounds out to third baseman Jackson Dowdy.
Number 2, we started here at about 20.
Willamette will get the win. The Wolverines will go to 10-3 on the season, now 6-1 in conference play. Roseburg goes to 4-3. They will fall 2 games behind Willamette in the Southwest Conference standings. And the Willamette Wolverines will have the lead. Roseburg could possibly be falling into a tie with Grants Pass there, depending on what happens with the Cavemen here today. But yeah, Roseburg falling further behind, Willamette extending their lead in the Southwest Conference. Not the way Roseburg was hoping things would start here today. A decent pitching performance by Jake Johnson, spoiled a bit by some quirks out there in this one. We'll get ready for game 2, but first we'll recap game 1. Stick around, we'll have a quick post-game show for you coming up when we return after this timeout here on 541radio.com and on The Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Successful companies have a very important secret. Good advertising works and makes them money. That's why your business should contact Lotus Media Group. Let us help you cash in with multimedia advertising. Multiple touches from Douglas County's only Google certified partner and most effective advertising platform. Web, broadcast, print. Make it happen. LotusMediaGroupLLC.com.
To us, pizza the way it ought to be isn't just our slogan. It's our promise and our passion to give you the best dining experience and the best tasting pizza you expect. For over 40 years, we've been making pizza the way it ought to be. Handmade with the freshest and finest ingredients. Our dough is made fresh daily, and we use 100% whole milk mozzarella cheese and toppings edge to edge. There's pizza, and then there's Mountain Mike's Pizza. Pizza the way it ought to be.
Looking for more local sports coverage? CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score has you covered. Check out our homepage at 541radio.com for sports stories, scores, and podcasts. And follow us on social media. 1490 The Score is on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And take the station with you wherever you go with the 541 Radio app. Download the app in your smartphone's app store and get access to a live stream of the station, sports stories, podcasts, and easy messaging with the station and others.
For over 100 years, Douglas County Farmers Co-op has been serving the needs of farmers, ranchers, and homeowners throughout Southern Oregon. Here, everyone is welcome. When you shop with us, you can expect good people, good products, and good advice. No membership needed. Just bring yourself, and we'll provide the expertise and products you need to tackle your next project. Douglas County Farmers Co-op, where everyone is welcome to shop.
Game one in the books here. Roseburg falls to Willamette 5-0, your final score. Roseburg Indians will need to try and find a way to muster up some offense in game two as we get ready for that here coming up in just about 20 minutes from now. So looking at probably getting game two starting about right on time with the scheduled 2 o'clock start time for that one. Well, 5-0, Willamette with the win. 5 runs on 6 hits, 1 error, and 5 men left on base. For Roseburg, no runs, 2 hits, and no runs on 2 hits, 2 errors, and 6 men left on for the Indians. Mason Christian will get the win. Jake Johnson will take the loss. Christian goes all 7 innings, allowed no runs on 2 hits, 3 walks, and 6 strikeouts. Jake Johnson taking the loss, gives up 5 runs, 4 earned on 5 hits over 6 innings, gave up 3 walks and 6 strikeouts. Camden Hartzell pitched the 7th inning, did not allow a run, just 1 hit, given up 1 walk and 1 strikeout. Willamette took the lead in the first inning with a run on a ground out by Joey Garboden after Miles Cox got on with a single, a 2-strike single to right field, stole second, moved to third on a pass ball, and then would score on the ground out by Garboden, made it 1-0. Willamette added 3 runs in the 4th inning. A 1-out double by Garboden got him on base. A walk to Jackson Dowdy got runners on, and then a double by J.C. Roberts brought in 1. Braden Rather would walk, and that would load up the bases. Roseburg got a pop fly out to right field, not deep enough to drive in and run, so Brody Butler, a fly ball out, made it 2 away, but then Berkeley Granberry drew a bases-loaded walk to bring in 1 run, and Colin Robbins looked like he drove in 2 runs with a bloop single to left field, but the second run, Braden Rather coming in to score, missed home plate, which was determined on appeal by Roseburg for the final out of the 4th inning. It turns out that didn't really come into play at all, but a run was wiped off the board on appeal. Willamette would get 1 more run in the 6th inning, and Roseburg committing a couple of errors in that 6th inning, allowing J.C. Roberts to score after a 1-out single got him on base. And actually, it was the courtesy runner, Brody Garrett, that scored in place of Roberts. Roseburg, just 2 hits in this one, and that was a single by Jake Johnson, the first hit of the game for Roseburg in the 4th inning, and then a single by Brayton Loomis later in that 4th inning. Roseburg leaving 6 men on base. 1, 2, 3 runners were left at third base in this one today for Roseburg. So tough there. They all came with 2 outs, though, I believe. The Roseburg would get a runner on to third base with 2 outs. They never had a runner at third with less than 2. So a tough one there for the Indians to try and put the pieces together here today. We'll see if they can kind of turn the ship in Game 2 and earn a split here at home against the league-leading Willamette Wolverines. Offensively for Willamette, Miles Cox had a hit and a run scored. Tyson Rather ended up with a single in there. Joey Garboden had 1 hit, a double. J.C. Roberts had 2 hits in this one, a double and a single. And then Colin Robbins would have a single. He was 1 for 3 with an RBI. RBIs for J.C. Roberts, Berkeley Granberry, and Colin Robbins. On the other side for Roseburg, Jake Johnson 1 for 2 with a single and a walk. Brayton Loomis was 1 for 3 with a single and 2 strikeouts. So Roseburg will look to try and bounce back. For Willamette, the Wolverines have now won 5 straight games. They improved to 10-3 on the season. They are now 6-1 in conference play. Roseburg has lost 2 games back-to-back. They are now 8-7 on the year and 4-3 in conference play. Roseburg trailing Willamette by 2 games in the standings. They'll try to get a split in Game 2 to see if they can get back within 1 game of Willamette in the Southwest Conference standings. So Roseburg and Willamette, we will get ready for Game 2 of our doubleheader here coming up. That'll be in just about 20 minutes from now. We're going to go ahead and take a break. When we come back, I've got an interview that I did with Brevin Harrison. We'll play a portion of that interview. It aired on Wednesday. If you want to hear the full interview, you can head to 541radio.com and go to the Score podcast page and listen to it there. You should find it pretty easily on our Score website, and you can listen to the full interview. But DC Sports Spotlight, our Wednesday night interview program where we talk with local student athletes here in the Umpqua Basin. Brevin Harrison, one of our guests this week, after his complete game 9-inning win over South Medford last Saturday. I wanted to get a chance to talk to him more about that. So we'll have that interview coming up. For those that are watching online, whether at 541radio.com or on our 1490 The Score YouTube channel, we are going to end the broadcast of Game 1. The Game 2 broadcast, we'll get that started here in just a quick couple of minutes, and we'll have the interview with Brevin will air on that second stream. So if you're at 541radio.com, the second game broadcast is right there on the same page. If you're watching on our YouTube channel, just go back to the main channel. You'll find the second game broadcasting here momentarily. 5-0, Game 1, final. Willamette gets the win. We'll come back with Game 2 in just a moment. Your Roseburg Disposal pregame show is coming up when we return here on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.